GM. We're back again with another episode of We Do a Little Sports. This time, Soby is back. Tummy is not aching, and we're ready to dive into Week 6 of the NFL. Before we dive in, Andy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a good night last night for the um whatever tournament it was, like the two game slate.
This
Got a
man
nice
came in
fifth
fifth
place.
place.
Yeah, I like if things had dropped slightly differently, I think my like capped out chance with this team was I could have got third. There were two guys who were ahead of me who like also had Kelsey and Sutton, so I wasn't going to catch them
Were
regardless.
you the only one in the top five with the two tight ends? I think you were.
I think so,
Did,
yeah.
did you withdraw your W already?
No, I
He's
no.
Oh,
reallocating.
you
Yeah, I'm reallocating.
reallocated? You
Yeah.
reallocated that quickly?
Well, not all of it. No, this is not my account, Soby. This is Deeze's.
Oh,
Um,
I'm retarded. Sorry.
Soby's
I
screen.
was
He's
so
like,
I was
how do
like,
you only have
dude.
$190?
Soby's like, how did you spend $2,000 already?
Andy actually didn't go to bed last night. He's
Yeah,
just been entering dog
I've
bowls
been doing
all night.
pick'ems.
He's just
Just
ripping
the
them,
amount of
dude.
pick'ems I have live right now.
But no, that was fun to see. I was looking at the top three last night, and I looked down a second. I was like, wait, we know this guy. Um, shout out to Mims. This was my best team.
Yeah,
Mims put up nothing.
tough.
What could have been?
It
But
Yeah, if
feels
you had
bad
like
fading
Kadarius
AJ
Tony there or
Dillon.
something, could have been nice.
dude, if I had literally anybody,
Yeah,
like uh, anybody who got a catch,
yeah.
anybody who did anything. Oh, I heard myself play because I brought the stream up. But I want to dive into the games a little bit before we dive into battle royales. I think there are a few spots that are maybe going overlooked. Starting with this Rams Arizona game, it is the highest live total on the slate right now. Kyron Williams, I've seen go undrafted, is just about as many times as I've seen him get drafted. Feels like there's a big opportunity there. Also, really don't mind taking Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, and Josh Dobbs. It feels gross, but I don't think anybody's taking them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cup and Puka are going very early, but
I feel like Puka's not even going as high as he should be, to be honest. Like he's
he's going around
going
14, 15 right now.
yeah, like I'm literally in a battle royale right now where he just went 18. I think he was just the last pick off the board. Like
Have you done any Puka doubles, like Cup, Puka, Stafford?
yeah, I've done a couple of those. I'm not doing it a ton just because I worry what Stafford's point upside is, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that offense like they're the only two wide receivers I care about, and so it's like maybe we'll like Kyron Williams doesn't run for any touchdowns and Stafford throws four touchdowns, two to Cup, two to Puka. Like that's totally possible. There's, it's like totally within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
pretty high on
taking
Cup.
Cup, Kyron, and one of the wide receivers just as much as I like taking like Cup, Puka, Kyron.
Yeah,
But I feel like this game is going a little under. Like, everybody wants piece of Miami's offense. We're seeing Mostert. I mean, I've seen Mostert go second overall in multiple drafts
I've seen
today.
him go. I saw him go first once, but and that was just like, oh, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you taking him over Tyreek Hill?
I can't take Mostert over the top three wide receivers.
No.
And I will take CMC over him, but I'm taking Mostert at 5. But I feel like this game is getting very like, Miami, everyone's getting steamed. And then I see Adam Thielen getting steamed. Nobody is clicking on DJ Chark or Jonathan Mingo, which I think are two interesting plays really in the dog bowl, like the 12-man
Yeah,
contest. I don't know if you've went there yet in any, but
I haven't brought myself there quite yet. I um I kind of just think the Panthers suck, and like Adam Thielen's like way he gets points is just that he's like the safety blanket of that offense,
mhm.
and so like I don't know. I definitely. I mean, I'm really heavy on Tyreek Hill this week so far. I've done like mid 50s in drafts, because I have him out first overall in my rankings at least right now,
Yeah,
um,
I do too
and
with
so
you.
I'm at like almost 40%. I think high 30s, and I'm not. I'm like a little bit worried about the blowout potential of it. I know that they ran it up like crazy on the Broncos. I'm not convinced that they're going to do that again necessarily. Um, and so I'm like slightly worried that all of a sudden the Dolphins are up 28-0 in the second quarter, and then like Hill gets to have a nice rest day or something. But
Yeah, it looks like Jeff Wilson is going to be capped at 25 snaps. They said.
are they bringing him off the IR?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure let me make sure I'm not blowing.
Because I know
smoke
there was a conversation that they hadn't confirmed they were taking him off the IR yet.
I think I saw alert in here. Oh man, it was not very long ago. I have all these beat writers in the NFL account on alerts, so anytime new things come in, I'm just like all day getting notifications. So here it is, King of Finland. When asked about if Jeff Wilson will be activated off IR, Mike McDaniel said there's only one roster spot available at the time. There's a lot of things like they might not even put him in.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Maybe I'm blowing smoke.
Oh, dude, I just checked the Mustard um, ADP. The night before Achane went to I saw a post about how
Achane, dude, that was the craziest pronunciation of
dude.
HN I've heard yet.
HEN, dude, there we go. I always say his name wrong, and I was saying HN for a while, but he said don't say it that way.
It's
So
HN.
HN. So the odds for him to win like offensive rookie of the year had moved. And they were like, that was like because someone was like, dude, their Vegas fucking knows something. So I clicked Mostert like 6 before, like at like 19 or 24, something crazy ADP, and now he's at 8. Really should have used more advantage of that and just ripped a bunch before that news came available. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
I was
so much
taking him
alpha.
late a lot.
He was going to like 15 after David Montgomery for a good bit.
Yeah, he would have been a crazy stack. Like if you were able to stack both of them together, like David, I feel like I like David Montgomery this week. For Carolina on best ball, I have a lot of Carolina shares, which kind of sucks because I got their O line was supposed to be good, like going into the season. I was like, O line, they'll do well. Jonathan Mingo hasn't been performing. What I'm curious about is does Adam Thielen like I feel like a lot of lineups right now in best ball and just I've seen it on DraftKings Cash and just in Underdog snake drafts, people taking Thielen as that like last what kind of wide receiver. As Andy said, he's getting so many PPR like receptions, like they're just throwing him the ball. He's getting the garbage time. He's all old reliable down there. But if they
you do
trade
need a
for like a
touchdown,
WR,
it feels like, to really get a score that you need with him. Like both these games with Seattle and Detroit, if he didn't get the touchdown, you're not mad at it, but you're not getting what you need, I think, to really push for first place.
but I'm saying where his ADP is though, right? Like what
Yeah.
you're getting out of like that.
Yeah.
That even for you, you have him at 30 ADP, and there's a potential that he could outscore. Like this might be the game that AJ Brown finally doesn't get a bunch of targets, or like there's a lot of variance there, and he has like that floor. But what I'm curious about is how the trade deadline is gonna mess that up. Like, are they gonna trade for Jerry Jeudy? My personal cope is I would love it if they got Hunter Renfrow in there.
Is
You
it
know what I mean?
Hunt for
'Cause
Renfro like Adam Thielen? Like what's
both white
isn't he
guys.
like a worse Adam Thielen, or am I thinking of them incorrectly?
No, I think Renfro's better than Thielen, but I mean, I'm curious to see who they go for. Like, I was really surprised they actually didn't sign D Hop. I feel like D Hop would have been a nice little safety blanket for the Panthers and would have probably got a lot of targets. It's just that game is going to be interesting. It could go one of two ways where I feel like the Dolphins are just going to run it up on them, which feels less likely, or they're up first and then Mostert is just kind of getting a bunch of touches. And we like
no matter what happens, it feels like Carolina is gonna have to pass a lot. Like that's kind of how I look at it. But any of those Carolina wide receivers, not named Thielen, they're gross to click on. But I think in the 12 mans, they have upside that no one is probably gonna go after. I think the next game is one of my favorites. The next two games, actually, Bengals, Seattle, and Jacksonville, Indy. These are two games where I want Jamar Chase anytime I can get him, and I can't get Tyreek Hill. I really like Lockett at the end of drafts. He's like 35.2 or something.
He goes
right
undrafted
now.
most drafts.
Yes. And we've seen Tyler Lockett put up 25 plus fantasy points multiple times. I really like taking him with either Jamar Chase or, God forbid, Joe Mixon.
One of these days, Mixon is going to score a touchdown.
He's going to get 50 points.
One of these days.
This
he
could
had
be the week.
25 rushing attempts against Arizona. he's getting the opportunities. It's
He's just getting stuffed. Like he's
Yeah.
getting the red zone work. He's not getting in. All of us remember the day that he got 50 points.
yeah.
And this could be, I mean, Seattle's defense against the run is better than they are against the pass. I think it'll be a chase, maybe like you said, a Higgins game. But I also think Joe Mixon going undrafted. Um, After last week, we saw him get steamed. The projections liked him. People were taking him against Arizona. He didn't do well. I just really like that game a lot. I have a couple Geno doubles. I know there's report DK, his rib. I think he's going to play. He seems to play through those type of injuries pretty
T.
often.
Higgins is game time decision as well.
He's literally playing with like a broken rib. So I'm not taking T. Andy, how much T do you have? I know you said you were taking them.
I've taken him like 4 times, and it's
Okay.
I only do it if I basically like don't get any quarterbacks that I want, and so
Gotcha.
then I like Burrow's free, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, 29,
a-
27.
and so like I'll if I end up with just like a situation where I don't have anything that I'm excited about to stack, I'll do Burrow and Higgins at the end just because there's a chance, throw a bullet in there. It'll be pretty low owned comparatively to a lot of other stacks, and I really like Burrow.
How do you feel about the Jacksonville Indy game?
Um, I'm not clicking any Indianapolis Colts.
I feel like I'm a little overweight. I guess I don't have as much Ridley. That I probably need to change that. I probably need more Ridley.
Let's see. Let me see what my. I mean,
Evan Ingram is just a target hog at tight end in a week
Yeah.
where if you don't get Hawkinson, it feels like a toss up.
yeah. So let's see. I have.
I've only taken Michael Pittman on the Indy side, and I've only taken up 3 times. And those are all bringbacks with
Yeah,
like
I literally don't
Jags.
think I've drafted a single Colts player. Um,
I like
but I
Josh
have
Downs
been
as
taking
a
I don't
Ingram,
mind Josh Downs either.
especially in a 12 man or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
12-man Josh Downs last pick feels yeah okay. Like he could be. You give me a little something.
Yeah. I
We
like
know
ETN.
Minshew's going to throw more.
I don't have that much Calvin Ridley. I have
I'm taking
7%.
Kirk.
I
taking some
do
Kirk.
have a couple Lawrence Kirk stacks. And I have a decent amount of Lawrence and Evan Ingram as well. I do like Ingram this week. But at quarterback, I'm mostly just drafting Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
this week.
I'm 30% Jalen Hurts. I feel you there. This is a game, Chicago and Minnesota, that I've been a little underweight on. I have DJ Moore somewhere around like 12th, so I don't really get him very often. I do have a good amount of Hawkinson. I actually feel like I need more Hawkinson. He's been going up. At the start of the week, he was closer to like 12th or even 15th, and now he's up to about 8. That being said, he feels like by far and away the best tight end on the slate.
Yeah, he's my highest owned tight end so far at about 25%.
I need to get up there.
I've been hammering. I've taken him as I think I took him 5th once. Um, I've been taking him a lot. And then, but now I'm probably gonna cool off a little bit because Laporta is going to play, and so I
Mhm.
think now comparatively with both of their ADPs, I'm a little bit more excited to be clicking Laporta in the early 20s than I am Hawkinson in the 10s. But I think this is all. That's just kind of like this slate in general. After the top 4 picks, I really think you can make a case to draft anyone else. Like I think
Yeah.
that after those 4, I don't really care who you draft. Like if you are like, oh yeah, that's what my projections say, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like,
Fuck it.
yeah, I believe it. And so I think that like it's a weird week like that. And so yeah,
Do you have
I like
anybody you
Hawkinson.
like from that game, Soby? That is, are you taking Addison at ADP? He's
I'm
pretty
taking
expensive.
I love Addison at that, but I think
It's
Hawk
like 24.
probably will do better. I don't know. I actually like taking blind, like just if I don't get the QBs that I want, I'll straight up just take Kirk, naked Kirk.
Naked Kirk. You
Naked
could at
Kirk,
least get
dude.
KJ Osborne. He's running the routes and stuff. Like he's Naked
Not
Kirk
to-
feels crazy to me, but I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, I I personally think Kirk Cousins is due for like a crazy game. Whether it's this game, who
He's had
knows?
a couple.
He's had a couple, but
Fifth, second, fourth. Like the first 3 weeks, he was top 5 QB every game.
yeah, but he's been last few days or last few games he's been playing like shit, like really
Yeah.
bad actually. So it's
I
rough.
only
It's
have
rough clicking
Kirk
him.
with Hawkinson, and I might have 1 or 2 double stacks with like Hawkinson and Addison or
I think I've
Hawkinson
only
and
clicked
Osborne.
Kirk once, but then on the Chicago side, I have a fine amount of Fields, 13% or so.
You have
I have,
Komet.
I have a bit of Komet, 16%, and then like a little bit of DJ Moore.
I only have
Just
1 Komet share. It's I need to up it.
yeah, I like because I'm not taking a ton of DJ Moore, and so I've seen Fields slip pretty far too a couple times. Like I saw one draft where he went like 23rd, and so like when he's slipping that far, I'm definitely taking him. Just a lot of times in the place where I'm going to take a quarterback there, Hurts is available, and so I'm like I'm taking Hurts over Fields almost every time. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Fields, I think I've gotten him past 20 once or twice, and that's been about where I want him. I actually feel like I take Tua over him just because I'm trying to get all those Miami points. I also just have a ton of the Miami wide receivers. This Washington Atlanta game, um, I'm not taking much Bijan. I am taking Kyle Pitts at the very end as a one-off of just like, what if he gets 8+ targets and one of them's a touchdown for once? I'm down to take Brian Robinson in the 12 mans, and I'm down to take Terry McLaurin in the 12 mans. Other than that, I'm not touching Washington in the 6 mans.
I have
Actually, I
drafted
lied. I
Bijan
think I've taken
Robinson
Logan
once
Thomas.
and Kyle Pitts once. that is
So,
all of my exposure to
I
this
got
game.
I got 1 Logan Thomas and 3 Kyle Pitts. So that's about equal, I guess, with me. It's a gross game. I do think Bijan's going to explode eventually. When he's going next to Montgomery, I'll just take him just to get a little bit. But I don't have very much Bijan. Like I have 5. I guess I have a little bit more than I thought. I have him 5 times. This game, Houston and the Saints, I think is another one that might be more interesting than it looks based off of the totals and the teams. I think Nico Collins going undrafted and Olave going undrafted feels crazy. Other than that, Kamara goes pretty high. I like taking Kamara. I'm not taking him over Josh Jacobs though.
I'm taking Kyron over him as well.
Yes. So it's tough to get to him. But I do like mini stacking this. Like take Kamara with Nico on one side, or I mean I think you could take CJ Stroud if you want. I don't think it's the best spot, but I think you take him with Nico, ran back with Olave or Kamara. Olave, we know, is a alpha who can get 10+ targets. I think it's more a concern of, is Derek Carr's shoulder getting better? Can he throw the deep ball? Than it is like, I think Olave has a toe injury too right now. But I mean, his ADOT the last 2 games, 19.6, 25.33, like it's still high. He's still getting deep targets. It's just not converting to fantasy points like we would think it would.
Yeah, I'm not crazy excited about this game. I think you're probably right that you should be like sprinkling in some Nico Collins, some Olave. I haven't been. I just like
It's one of those weeks where
can't
there's
bring
so
myself to do it.
much uncertainty and like upside at the late wide receiver stage. Like I like to take my quarterback early. I like to get one of the earlier tight ends. And then my last 2 or 3 picks, like there's a bunch of wide receivers with 30+ point upside. Like you got Brandon Ayuk, you have Nico, you have Olave, you have Christian Kirk, you have Lockett, DK. Like they're all there. So it is tough to like get an accurate sprinkling in. Tampa
Yeah.
Bay, Detroit, everybody taking David Montgomery, like 15 overall. Laporta's going pretty high. I've seen Amon-Ra, now that he's probable, start moving up. Seen him go like 12 to 18 today. I'm probably underweight in this spot. I know you mentioned Mike Evans is looking like he's going to play and healthy. I think that's a really interesting spot because he's in that like 35-ish ADP where people just aren't taking him at all. And we've seen Mike Evans many times put up 30 plus points. Like it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one. Detroit is probably my highest owned offense in general. Montgomery's my highest owned running back. Amon-Ra, I have a decent amount of. Laporta, I have over 20%.
I'm very underweight.
I mean, when Laporta was questionable, I was taking him in the 6th round like every single time. I was just like
Yeah.
punting, taking 6 rounds. I don't know. I just had a feeling he was going to play.
I
I've done like a
feel
couple
little
Laporta and
underexposed.
Amon-Ra double stacks with Goff. Goff goes undrafted, which I think is interesting that you have 3 skill position players on the team going in the top like 25 and the quarterback goes undrafted. That's always interesting.
And we saw that last week, and then Goff got the rushing touchdown, put up 27.44, and was a really good score.
Yeah.
I like that. I haven't taken. I probably need to take more of those stacks. New
No one
England.
else on Tampa is interesting to me. Chris Godwin, you could probably draft a couple times, and I wouldn't blame you for it. But I don't think anyone else is clickable.
I don't think I need to click, dude. I don't have a Mike Evans or a Godwin. We're still early.
I
though.
don't have a Godwin click either, but I do have a decent amount of Evans.
Raiders and New England. I love the Raiders offense. Basically, anytime they're playing, you know that 3 people are going to get the ball. One of those persons is going completely undrafted right now, and Jacoby Myers at 35 point whatever. If I don't get Jacobs or Adams, I feel like Jacoby Myers feels really nice. It's kind of similar to the Rams offense, where if I have one of Puka, Cup, or Kyron, pretty happy. If I have one of Jacobs, Adams, Myers, I'm also pretty happy. I do seem to keep clicking on Hunter Henry. He's the only New England player I have. I've taken him on like $29 worth of stuff.
Yeah, I like the Raiders a lot as well. I don't think I've drafted a single Patriots player. Probably won't. I think you can make the case that like it's worth a Ramondre flyer. Josh Jacobs just had a decent game, or not Josh Jacobs, uh, the fucking Packers running back just had a decent game.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah, but
if AJ Dillon can get double-digit points, like
yeah,
anybody can.
But I'm currently at 50% Devontae Adams through almost 60 drafts. So
You said earlier today you've been taking Devontae Adams 5th overall or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of 5th overall for me so far this week is just like what am I in the mood for that draft? Sometimes it's Devontae, sometimes I'll take Monster even though I don't love it. I'll have taken Hawkinson. I'll take I don't know like Antonio or AJ Brown or something. None of it feels good. But normally it ends up being Devonta Adams.
You taking anyone from this game, Soby, that isn't one of the 3 Raiders?
Nah. I'm not touching anybody on New England, like Ramondre Stevenson or the like.
They look horrible, man.
Yeah.
They look as bad as the Panthers to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I looked like Hunter Henry maybe twice just because I was like, I didn't get any tight end. I felt like good about it. And I felt like maybe this is the game where he gets a couple tutties on some garbage time shit just to have some variance. But that's it. And yeah, for the Raiders, I feel like I don't know, dude. The Raiders are really like a shitty offense, to be honest with you. When you watch, like, really, it feels like Jimmy G goes. Honestly feels like Jacoby's his first read now, and then like Devontae, and then he's like, oh, Josh Jacobs in the check down. So I love Jacobs this game for PPR floor, and I think he gets in the end zone. And Devontae, I'm clicking here and there because Devontae Adams is just so good.
I've only taken Jacoby in a dog bowl this morning, but I need to click on him more.
I got some Jacobs, dude.
Last 2 games are kind of gross, but I do think there is, obviously upside. Eagles, no matter who they're playing against, whether it's the Jets or the Broncos, you know that any of them can put up 30 points and you want exposure. Don't really need to talk about any of them. Are you guys taking any Jets? That's something I'm curious. I've taken a little bit of Brees, but yeah, two Brees lineups. That's it.
A little bit. A couple Eagles players are now hurt.
Which ones?
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Jalen Carter sprained his ankle during practice,
Ooh, that's big.
and so now he's questionable. Um, and it seems like Darius Slay has a real chance to miss playing this week as well. Um, and so I wonder, like, I don't think the Eagles' defense is insane. I mean, the Patriots scored 25 points or whatever it was against the Eagles' defense. I don't think that they're like a juggernaut. Um,
No.
and if they're without a couple of their best players, I think it's worth taking a flyer. I've been, when I can get the um, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack, I've gotten a couple times at the turn going into the 2-3 turn, which is nice.
Hmm.
Where I'll go like Tyreek Hill and then Hurts and Brown. Um, I'm pretty comfortable to throw in a Garrett Wilson or normally it's Brees Hall, but I'm pretty comfortable to throw in a Jets player in my last pick of the draft, just to try to get some game stack. And
Brees is so good. I feel like if they have any chance of staying in the game, it's because Brees went off. Um, I probably won't take any Garrett Wilson, but I can also. I mean, Philly's been weaker against the pass, and they have the run. If Carter's out, maybe that shifts. But they have been really susceptible to the air, even though we think of Philly's D is super strong. So I do like that. This last game, Browns in San Fran. Obviously, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey, but not much. He's probably my highest fade of the top. I guess I only have Christian McCaffrey on a single dog bowl, and I haven't drafted him in over 50 BRs right now. So that's my Christian McCaffrey take. I'm gonna change that now that I look at it. I'm gonna take him in a few more BRs, but I'm pretty happy having less of him. How are you? Oh, I like Ayuk. That's the one I was talking about. Who he has this great matchup where Cleveland runs the most man coverage. Ayuk does the best against man coverage, and he's kind of their one-on-one man beater. Purdy loves him. Dude always has, I feel like, 30-point fantasy upside on 8 targets. So I'm taking a little bit of him in the last rounds now.
I'm taking Kittle, dude. I like
Kittle,
Kittle.
I don't think I have any Kittle.
I'm taking. I know he got a big game last week. Just
Got him in
kind
a
of score
couple.
dependent. He had 3 touchdowns.
Dude, last week
game.
was crazy for Kittle. He had 4 catches and 3 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
That's
know
the
if he goes,
ideal
like,
Kittle game.
no, he had 3 catches for 3 touchdowns. All of his catches. He
Oh
had
yeah,
4
4
targets.
It was
targets.
4
Sorry,
targets,
4
yeah.
targets.
I just think if they try to like block down Ayuk and they give him some safety help on the man coverage, I just feel like maybe Ayuk gets tackled near the end zone. They do a little Kittle in there, but I like Kittle this week. Kittle and Kittle and Purdy had a lot of good chemistry like last season near the end there,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't seen so much of it this year because probably they're just fucking McCaffrey is scoring like crazy. Ayuk is scoring like crazy. Like Kittle doesn't really need to go off, and Debo had a pretty good game too, like not too long ago. But I like him here, so I'm pressing.
I took one Purdy in a battle royale just with Ayuk to see. But yeah, I like going through all the games. Got a kind of overview of what we're looking at. Ready to dive into some drafts now. I'm gonna start maybe just do a couple BRs, get the juices flowing, and then see if any goal line stands or dog bowls are close to filling. Normally, I don't know how you guys draft, but what I normally do when I'm by myself, I know I want to do 4 dog bowls a week at the $50 price point because they give you $50 back if you do 4 entries. If you do 8, they give you $100 back, etc. So normally what I do is I check goal line stand because I'm down to enter as many of those as I can. If it's close to filling, like within 2 or 3 people, I stay in there. If not, I leave, check dog bowl. If dog bowl isn't close, I just do BR. And then I just keep doing that cycle over and over again, but I'm never multi-tabling. I'm always like doing one.
Yeah, normally I'm pretty comfortable to do 2 drafts at once. I mean, I've done more, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'll since I use Arc and it has like the really nice like split screen kind of stuff, I'll like
The hell is
enter.
Arc?
It's
Yeah,
a
what's Arc?
new browser. It's really fucking dope, honestly. It's a really nice new browser. And so you basically like if you have multiple tabs open, it's very easy to do like split screen with them.
Wow.
And so I use an ultra wide monitor, and so it just like it makes sense. You don't need that much real estate to do the drafts. And so what I'll do is like I'll have my screen I'm drafting on, and then I'll open up my goal line stand or whatever that I'm waiting for, and just like drag it and go split screen and just have it open, kind of sitting, so I don't miss it.
Smart.
Yeah, with the new gladiator mode for BRs, I'm thinking I'm gonna quit playing some cash games on because I realized that so much of the edge on cash games and DraftKings is actually around tournaments, like the way the tournaments are structured and how you're playing them, and I don't really find that fucking fun, to be honest with you, to like go and read the details of tournaments, and be like, yeah, this is a good fucking plus EV one for me to enter into,
The
and
thing too is like you're against so many people who are putting 25, 50, 100, 500,000 $1,000,000 a week in play, and
yeah,
you're like probably putting less than 2,500 in the play yourself, and then these people are just mass entering so much. Like at least on Underdog, every motherfucker had to at least auto draft the lineup. So it does feel like there's at least an edge. Like I would play Underdog cash games before I would play DraftKings cash games. Like I would just do the $50 3-mans or $50
yeah.
2-mans.
That's a good point. And so like now with the new like what is it? I think it's like 25 is the bare minimum, but if you do over like 50 or something, you get 50% rake back. Like if I look at my metrics, I actually don't play that much snake, but when I do like decent. I had some pretty good, like decent runs on cash games, so I still have like money funds on DraftKings, and I'm just like losing every week right now.
Slowly losing. Just
But
take
on
it out.
Underdog, I feel like if you do a lot of variance, you understand like look, there's a bunch of hitters going past 30, like Ayuk, Mike Evans, all these stuff. Like you could get some crazy variance on some of these drafts that literally over 50% of your drafts could be dead, and you might still end up plus EV on the week because of the rake back. And that to me is like, why not do that? You know what I mean? And you get some pretty interesting lineups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
I
want to
agree.
hop into a BR? Get the juices flowing here.
I'm
Let's
in
do it.
2 right now. Hold on, I'm almost done.
Oh, we don't even have to get all 3 of us in the same one. It's fine if it's 1 or 2 of us.
It's actually negative EV for all.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because some of these drafts are like,
I filled.
if you get 5 no badgers and then you're getting like Justin Fields at 23, like all right.
Oh,
we
shit,
got
we
Nez,
got Nez in
Nez,
here as
Andy.
well. Let's go. We got Schmidt in first.
Wonder if he'll take Mostert first overall. You can see my custom ranks I have here. These aren't hard and steady. It was me just tweaking them as the week goes, but this is kind of what I was at this morning.
Yeah,
I'll click on DJ Moore a little bit more, but
yeah, I'm like around there. I can't even see DJ Moore on my screen when the draft loads up. I have him ranked so low.
see, I missed DJ Moore at like 24 because I had him
Yeah.
like next to Calvin Ridley down here. And then I realized I needed to move him up because if I was gonna draft him, like I would have taken him at 24. I just didn't see him. And then kind of under this like Mike Evans tier is not my picks really. Or I think this is like where it ends right after Logan Thomas.
Mhm.
No one's taking Amari DeMercado, dude.
No.
He's their backup running back. They have him labeled as on their depth
I would
chart.
rather take Marquise. I'd rather take Zach Ertz.
You guys drafted any PJ Walker?
No, that's
No.
not. Nobody on the Browns offense is going to make any of my lineups.
No.
I saw how they looked with DTR, and I can't imagine they look much better with PJ Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Where was the
PJ
last place
got
PJ
that
Walker
deep ball to
started? Was
DJ
it
Moore.
Carolina?
Yeah, it was Carolina. You had that. Remember that crazy Carolina? Who was it? Carolina? Someone else? The DJ Moore catch of like that super long touchdown, and then he did the taunting, the taunting.
It got brought back.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. I just remember PJ Walker being not the play. Like he was somebody who came up in DFS, and it's like, oh, do you want to play minimum price PJ Walker? Like, not really.
no.
Nez doing a little auto draft just to get Cup. Are you a Mostert at 5 type of person, Soby, or what's your vibe?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm gonna go here.
You DJ Moore, truther.
No, I'm kind of gonna go Bijan.
You're going Bijan.
Bijan's good.
So I have to take. I'm contractually obligated to take Mostert. on
I
that
don't like.
one.
I hate the 5 spot this week. It just feels like you're always either reaching, or like you're
It
hoping
feels the
for a good
worst.
guy.
I got
Yeah,
Jamar Chase at 5 earlier today. That felt good.
That's nice.
that feels good.
If you get any of those top 3 wide receivers at 5, you're cruising. Gonna take a Devontae Adams away from Andy.
Yeah, that's for
Make
the
him get
best,
different.
honestly. Make me diversify what I have going on here.
You
The
don't
amount
want
of
Dude,
to play-
Devontae
Tyreek
Adams
Hill,
is
Devontae
so-
Adams starts that I have is just like unhealthy at this point.
Talk
But
about
this-
AJ Brown.
This is something fucking fantasy players I feel like overthink is like they get too into like stats version shit with like spreadsheet stuff where you're like, oh, blah blah blah, like regression, all these other words and shit. When I think I like what you said after our auction draft, Andy. You were like, my thesis on Brees Hall is like he's a good football player.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's-
it's that
Did-
simple.
good.
Did
Dude. It's
either
like,
of you
oh,
listen to Utical on
I did,
the
yeah.
stream with Pete yesterday?
no.
And Pete's like, well, how do you incorporate the fact that ball into like your picks? And he's like, well, it's in the projections, like the alpha players. Like you take the alpha players. Very
Yeah,
simple.
I
just like-
enjoyed that stream.
I love how honest he is. Like he's just not
He
afraid.
was
to
very
be
matter of
like,
fact.
Dude, send me the link to that. That sounds fun, enjoyable. But it's that simple though. Like sometimes people have off weeks and stuff. Like last week, I was like, dude, I honestly think I should be clicking Jamar Chase even more than I'm already clicking him, because Jamar Chase is like a fucking really good wide receiver. They're playing, Arizona wasn't bad or anything, but it feels like if this was the game he's going to blow up, it's going to be this one. And I think people overthink it a lot. Like it's just like right now, DJ people with regards to like stat projections, DJ Moore, I feel like is super overvalued this week. I'm clicking him a
Yes.
couple times because you don't know with him, but like I don't know if you watch that Washington game, like I don't think people are gonna have crazy blown coverages against him again, and like I don't think he's gonna do as well. Plus that Minnesota secondary is a lot better. But he's like people have one crazy game and they put them so far up. Like Devontae Smith, I feel like going super low this week. I know he has, not getting as much production as he wants, but I click good football players, bro. That's my whole thesis.
we just got some news.
Oh, did
We got a few different things. We got T. Higgins fully practiced today. Dawson Knox and Kincaid are both questionable for Sunday night's game. That's interesting. And Wandale just got switched to healthy on the sleeper app. So guess that's nice. Am I gonna get what I think I'm gonna get, or is Soby gonna do a little?
You think I'm gonna click Almond St. Rob Brown?
You should.
You'd be right to assume that. I barely clicked him.
What if Tyreek Hill just gets hurt?
What if
What if you need the other 3 Miami people?
Jalen Waddle is a good football name too, though.
He hasn't done any alpha shit this year.
He had a lot of targets last
He
week.
had 10 last week,
Yeah.
but he doesn't like. He was going so high in best ball, like top 16. I mean, last week was the first time he broke a 20% target share. 6, 6, 4, 10.
I don't
Is anyone
understand
drafting
how
Jimmy G?
Alvin Kamara's ADP is still 18.4. I feel like every draft I'm in, he goes in like the mid 20s.
I've seen him go early too, though. Like I've seen people take him over Montgomery, so
Yeah,
he's a more volatile.
there it goes.
Nez.
Oh, what am I gonna do here at quarterback?
Got my Miami. This is classic. Maybe I run it back with Thielen. Maybe I just take the stack and don't take anyone on Carolina.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I want to start doing some Baker, Mike Evans stacks.
Baker's been putting up a good amount of points.
Dude, Baker's unironically saving me in all of my auction leagues where I fucking took him, dude.
You got him for like $2 and we're worried that he was gonna do nothing. And then he's like,
I wasn't worried. I was on the Reddit, bro. I was on the subreddit seeing what's going on.
I was on the Reddit.
The
was a
subreddit
community
likes
member.
him. How do we feel about Sam Howell last 2 games? 41 and 51 passing attempts.
His O line hates him. That's how I feel about the poor. You know
Do
he's
we
half
think
Korean.
that's gonna like? I feel like when I think of Atlanta, I think of like slow games, Atlanta burning clock. They don't really push the pace. I don't normally like those game environments, but Sam Howell's still getting coached by Eric Bieniemy and could
When
throw
you
the
guys
ball a ton.
play the 6-man drafts, since I feel like 12 man's a little different. How often are you going 2 running backs versus 3 wide receivers?
I
Like,
need
that's
to
your
like plug
like
my
your
thing in the spike week. I'm assuming I'm going 2 running backs like 66 to 75% of the time, and I'm going wide receiver last.
Yeah, I feel
I
like it
feel
really depends. I don't know.
it definitely depends on your draft, but I feel like if I don't get a back that I feel super cozy in, it's nice to get the other one just to fix that production issue. I've taken 2. I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now. I've taken 2 tight end lineups a couple times.
I don't think it's a
I
bad
think
thing
there
to
was some data that came out before the season that, and this could be wrong, but I think what I remember is that out of all the BRs for the last 2 years, not a single BR has been won by a 2 tight end build.
I'm about to buck the trend.
Like a main slate BR. Like I think 2 tight end is great on 2-man or small slates, but like on a 8+ game slate with a bunch of teams playing, I just feel like you're giving up a lot. Like if you're thinking, oh, I can take Kyron Williams as my second running back, or I can take any of these tight ends as my flex player, like you have to take Kyron Williams in my head.
Yeah, I think the only time it makes sense is like some sort of leverage with like, oh, I'm drafting Kelsey, and I just legitimately think that Hawkinson and like could also get there, and you like take both in a week like that, but only a couple times. Like I wouldn't want to do it more than once or twice.
Yeah, and I've had this stack with Thielen a couple times where it's Tua, Mostert, and a Waddle or Hill, and then Thielen. So this time I
So,
decided
did you just take a
to.
naked Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, bro. Game stack, dude.
Soby's going off the board. The almond rod. You think Baker's just gonna run like 3 in?
Dude, Baker Mayfield off a bye week, you can't fade, dude.
You can't fade him.
Can't fade
You
him.
can't fade.
Nez
That's what
doesn't even
everyone's
know
been
what to
saying.
say to that.
Yeah. You fucked
Foreman.
him up so bad that he drafted Donta Foreman.
Foreman.
Wait, that's great.
That's kind of an alpha play. I mean, is Roshan trending as like not
I
playing?
don't think he's gonna play.
So they really just have Foreman. So if
Yeah, I
he
think
takes
Foreman's gonna
Foreman
be
and
their
DJ
starter.
Moore, like I don't hate that.
He doesn't have
I
DJ
wanted
Moore though.
Goff so
Or no,
bad.
he doesn't have Fields, does he?
It's the idea of like, well, what if I just take Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams? Like you don't need Jimmy G.
Yeah, but it's not Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. It's Donta Foreman and DJ Moore.
You don't think Dante Foreman and DJ Moore are directly comparable to Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams?
It's
I
very
don't
gotta
know
be
similar.
about that
close.
one.
All right, let's check the goal line stand real quick. Oh, 7. I'll check the dog bowl. 4.
We can do that.
Let's,
If we
you
all
wanna do the
hop in
dog?
it, we could probably fill it.
let's do it. We can also run a BR, or like one of us. I can run a BR while we wait for that to fill, and I can do 2 at once.
I
Oh
don't
shit!
really like dog bulls. But I'm
All
down.
right, there we go.
3 people. Dude, I gotta get off this thing in 11 minutes though.
All right, so why don't you sit this one out then, and we can Deeze and I can run the dog bowl after you get off. It'll probably fill or like start at the right time for that.
I love getting my top 4 pick. Maybe I'll take McCaffrey here if this guy lets it go, just because.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
been taking
none.
McCaffrey at 2, just because I don't want to have none.
I don't
But
want to
I
have
do,
none either.
I do worry that like they're just gonna slaughter Cleveland. Like, couldn't you see the Niners defense scoring 3 touchdowns and basically McCaffrey takes the game off?
Would you go to Jordan Mason?
I don't think so. I would
No?
rather just draft other players.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
I could
I just don't
definitely
want to have
see-
no McCaffrey though. Like that's too scary.
Yeah, this
Man,
week where he put up 45 against Arizona, and I had like none of them, that felt horrible.
Yeah.
But then last week I didn't have that much of them, and he kind of didn't do what he needed to do. He was on that like 2-game slate too, I think, last week, right? Is that a night game with Dallas? Dallas looked horrible. Like
Yeah, that was tough.
they looked like they're not even in the same league. Classic Tyreek start. Kind of only got 2 no Badgers. I feel like I've been thinking about changing up my dog.
I just did. I'm a poodle now.
I had the spotted one for a minute, like this, and then I moved back to the good boy retriever looking boy. I wish they had more like random accessories for winning random tournaments. Like I like how there's like a reindeer nose for the Christmas thing. I fucked up and I guess didn't enter it correctly last time, but
Yeah, I feel like they need to add more like fun custom ones for there should be one for if you like place first in like one of their flagship contests and stuff
yeah, like they
that.
have the BR one, but they don't have like if you win the goal line stand, right? Like you don't get
Yeah.
anything special for that.
Maybe
Another pick
DLC.
11 where normally I take AJ Brown, so we're gonna force Devontae Adams over him.
Yeah, this is a classic Devontae angle because
Yeah,
Hurts is already gone, and so it's like you only take AJ Brown there. I think if you're like scheming to try to get Hurts coming back.
yeah. I
I mean,
wasn't
I would
taking
take him at
naked
14,
AJ Brown
sure.
this week against Washington, and it
Yeah.
sunk me because I didn't have him. So now I'm a little bit more like, oh well.
I think it's
I'm
totally
just gonna.
fine to take him here if you want him or to reach for Tua.
Yeah, I have this exact combo a few times.
I'm gonna end up underweight on Tua this week. I don't really know why. I just I can't bring myself to reach for
I'll
him
do
that
AJ
hard,
Brown.
and so I've just like haven't been getting to him as much because I have it like I said I have a ton of Hill, and then I'm just like trying to push it, and then whoever drafts Waddle ends up taking Tua. And
Yeah, I like Tua here at like 23.
Yeah.
Sometimes he gets it there. I've seen people just take naked Tua from me too, because I think ETR has him projected pretty high.
They have him over Fields. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've lost to a guy in the mid third who just like, oh, this is the highest projected player.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy got Waddle. Wouldn't be shocked if he takes Tua right there at 20. For me, I already got Devontae. I don't mind taking Jacobs and Devontae together, but I don't prefer it.
Yeah, I tend to break ties in that situation towards Kyron.
And I mean, if Etienne is up, I'm going to take him.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
don't
totally.
think he'll be up, but weirder stuff has happened. I have a bit of Trevor Lawrence plus Etienne plus Evan Ingram.
I like that.
Like that 3-man stack.
Yeah, the
I
one
just
bummer
think
with
with
ETN is that he doesn't really catch very many balls, which makes it feel worse to go for that stack. You might get him here. I don't know.
I don't want to get my hopes up. I mean, these people, we got a no Badger. Okay, St. Brown. This guy's got the doubles. He's probably looking for Stafford. Worst case, I'm going to get Kyron.
This is where you wish they had a chat, and you message in the chat, and you say, if you take ETN, if you don't take Stafford, I'm drafting him.
I send him a link to the stream,
Yeah.
and I just go like Kyron Stafford.
You say, I ruin your stack if you don't if you don't take
I'll
him.
do the see, sometimes I feel like I don't get like unique enough. Like if I go Laporta Goff, is that unique enough?
I think so.
Goff is at 35.3, so yeah, it is. But
dude, imagine not going Baker Evans stack. That's what you.
Yeah,
need.
but I can't fit in Evans.
It's true. Well, you don't got the winning lineup, dude.
I've done a couple Jimmy G's as well. He's someone who never gets drafted.
No, he's literally at 36.
You think
Yeah.
you would draft him as as often as you do if he wasn't handsome?
Probably
You
not.
think that plays
But
a
I think that's
bias?
part of it. It's part of drafting alphas.
Just you go off the physiognomy or whatever. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, dude, look at his camfold tilt. Like he's gonna fucking throw for 4 touchdowns. Very standard draft here. Nothing off the board too much. Guess Komet went a little early, but I feel like I have a good amount. I have to check, but I feel like I take Ingram, Trevor Lawrence almost too much. Like it's like a comfort click, you know, and you're just like looking at the board and
Hmm.
the way I have my tight ends, they're all down here except for Laporta, Hawkinson, and Ingram. So it's like they stick out because they're up in this shit. Click it. Goddard, I've only taken with AJ Brown. Try not to take him by himself.
How do you feel about naked Goff?
This guy didn't take Stafford.
That's crazy.
He's probably gonna take him here, right?
He's got it. If he
Got his
doesn't take
Ingram.
Stafford here,
He could take Lawrence because he has Etienne and Ingram. But it feels kind of
Wow,
silly
there
to
it
take the
is.
2 wide receivers. Yeah. Let me take Goff. Boom. And then this just started.
yeah, let's
Andy
go. I got
1-1.
yeah, the influencer 1-1.
I got the shithole.
Damn, this is a stacked room though. We got Lee, we got
Crass Rich.
Beretta, we got
Alejandro.
Crash Rich. Holy shit! Yeah, this is a
Every
very
dog bowl is like this.
yeah, this is a very stacked room.
Lee already got his ticket. That's
Yeah.
Chad from the Deposit Kingdom. He won last week. If I won, though, I would keep entering. Like, I would
Oh, yeah.
want multiple entries. Like, if I won one, I would probably get like overconfident and then do like 8 entries the next week. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're bumping it up. Like, clearly I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, obviously I know ball.
Yeah, dude, I just drafted the alphas. This might be one where I go, God, Hawkinson. Let me look at my other
5
dog
here
bowls.
is really tough.
It's ass.
5 in the
Yeah,
12
5
man
sucks.
is not what you want.
I think I got 5 on this one. No,
I think
7.
going Mostert is fine.
I went Mostert at 7. This
Yeah.
one I got 3 overall and got CMC. I do try to, like, if I'm only going to do 4, like, I probably don't want another Geno double on one of my
Yeah.
dog bowls. That's,
Yeah. Unless you're really bullish on Geno.
I'm not. So I need to pray Isaiah goes off the board because you know Beretta is going to take one of these 2 wide receivers. So
Yeah.
Isaiah, can you go Mostert? Just
Yeah, what
gentleman's
if?
agreement?
I don't
Please?
think like taking Mostert's not bad though. Especially because running back thins out a lot faster than wide receiver does in
Yeah.
these. Like,
And I don't mind going like running back.
yeah.
Whereas tight end, the advantage you get from Hawkinson.
Like after like God, who's probably the last running back off the board I feel okay with? Joe Mixon.
I'll
you're
take
like-
Dameon Pierce. That's
Yeah.
my
Well then like do you want Brian Robinson against Atlanta? Not really. Do you want to
no.
take Jonathan Taylor? No. It's like Ramondre? No. You know who probably isn't that bad is like Chuba.
Yeah.
Cause
Chuba.
Yeah, they said he's
Sanders
gonna
is
get the
out.
bulk of touches.
yeah.
I have a lot
All
of
right, so it's
Chuba
my
exposure.
second Mostert lineup here. My first one I had Mostert and Tua, so I'm not gonna go Tua here. This is gonna be a uncorrelated Mostert piece.
Okay, boys, I'm gonna run.
You out?
Take care,
See you,
Soby.
sir.
Have a good weekend.
I want to let you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Hawkinson went at 7. Like, DJ Moore at 6. I guess he can win the tournament with his ceiling, but
Yeah.
it feels so much worse than the other wide receivers to me.
Yeah. I cannot bring myself to draft him over Devontae Adams. I just can't do it.
Crass Rich, Devontae, baby.
Yeah, man after my own heart.
He's got the sheet. I feel like when you're first pick too, waiting on like tight end or QB for the very last pick of the draft feels shitty. Like
Yeah.
it's Desmond Ritter season. Like it's You might not even get Purdy like that late.
Yeah, I mean, getting tight end. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like Josh Dobbs is the top 12 for me, but there's a few down here. I guess
Yeah.
Baker,
Yeah, odds
Jimmy.
are if you're waiting on tight end, you're ending up drafting someone like Durham Smythe or Tyler Higbee or something. Maybe you get lucky and Logan Thomas falls to you. But like,
took Smythe on one VR. Just what if he gets 2 touchdowns, man?
he didn't even have a target in their last game.
No. But he's out there.
Yeah,
91% of routes.
He's out there grinding, yeah.
Dude, 91%. Like I don't know. Tua, if he's open and that's the guy he sees, will throw it to him, but it's not great. Amon-Ra went a little early. That's smart.
Yeah.
Hurts, Etienne, Fields, Montgomery.
I wonder if Tua might slip to me.
He might. I'm not taking him. And whoever takes Waddle can't take Tua right after. Oh,
Nope,
okay.
nope, there you
Naked
go.
Tua. Maybe he'll
I
take
should've
Smythe.
known. Yeah.
All right, what am I looking at here? Any of these running backs would be nice. I wouldn't mind Calvin Ridley, but I probably don't want him. I don't want Waddle stacked. And probably Josh Jacobs. It's like a Josh Jacobs spot for me. And then get the wide receivers I like later because I like so many. Like, I like all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to add Mike Evans to that. Ken Walker versus Josh Jacobs is tough. I just lean Jacobs.
Me too. Playing a
I
worse
have
defense.
been taking a good amount of Ken Walker though in battle royales, especially with Chase. Like I like taking Walker when I have Chase, and I just think to myself, Walker hits a couple of those home run runs. He gets $150, 2 touchdowns. Burrow is forced to throw. Joe Mixon does nothing.
Yeah.
It always feels good to have like 2 stud running backs too in
Mhm.
these. If you don't get one of those first 4 wide receivers, first 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping I come out of this turn with a running back, but we'll see.
Kamara or Kyron.
Yeah, if they had taken both of them there, I wasn't gonna take Joe Mixon or DeAndre Swift. I would have gone elsewhere, but I'll probably. All right, there we go.
Are you
Made
the
my
type
choice
to run
easy.
back your hill with Thielen here, or are you just like, I can get Laporta. Why would I get Thielen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Laporta and Kyron here. Just my 2 best players on the board.
Then you
And,
have somebody everywhere. You're not
Yeah, then
scrambling to
I'm
punt.
not scrambling too bad. A quarterback, we'll see what I do. Like I can probably get Goff decently late. We'll see. I don't know. I like Jimmy G this week. Baker's not bad. Stroud's not bad.
I think I took Ingram on either of these, right? I got Ertz and Laporta. I might take an Ingram here. I probably wouldn't take a naked Jordan Addison. I already have Thielen on my Miami, Carolina dog bowl stack. Love Ayuk. Would probably hope I can get Ayuk at 44. I probably wouldn't.
You might be able to. I don't know.
This guy has 2 wide receivers. He has 2 wide receivers. These guys are definitely going to need one. We'll see. Because I can take Ingram and then maybe get Lawrence later or Kirk. I mean, I think Thielen feels the best, but I already did this. So I don't want to do it again. DK is interesting. All of these guys are interesting. I guess I don't want Jacoby because I already have. I'm going to go Ingram. I think Christian Kirk's too cheap. And then I don't even mind these guys.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I have such a long time to wait. What I get at 48 and 49. I don't really know what to expect.
There goes Ayuk.
Wow, I'm surprised.
With the smart drafters, it's different. Like
Yeah.
when you see all the red badges, it's like, oh man, all those like 30-point upside guys who are free. These guys know that they're free and they draft them. They don't like just kick the can down the road and take Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
It's like taking the alpha plays, like Brandon Ayuk's like the alpha play.
Yeah, 15-point Marquise Brown probably isn't moving the needle for anybody.
No. And like you don't really trust like I feel like Ayuk, he beats his man and he gets yards after the catch. Marquise Brown, he doesn't really like get that wide open space after the catch where he can just make everybody miss. It's like, oh, he ran an out route. Oh, he ran I don't know, 12-yard in and got hit by 2 safeties and a linebacker. There goes Kirk. I wonder if Crash Rich is going to take the Trevor Lawrence to go with Kirk. He also has Stafford on the table with Puka. I guess he could punt Jimmy G at the end, too. Saw Joe Mixon go.
I wonder I wonder what the running back move is for Crash. I'm curious to see because it's fucking barren now. Like you scroll down, I've Madison, I guess, Rashad White, disgusting.
Damian Pierce.
Yeah, none of those are very exciting to me.
He took Lawrence. Smart.
Yeah, I mean his build right now is really nice, but these last two, I think he'll get a
I mean, I
decent
could
tight
see
end,
myself
but his
taking
running
last
back's gonna
pick
be
Jimmy G. Like I
yeah,
could take Jacoby and then go for like the Vegas.
yeah. Last pick Jimmy G is nice.
I really like these 4 wide receivers right here. If I get any of these,
Yeah,
I think they have really, really nice upside for late 4th round. Quarterback, yeah, I'm kind of depends on what wide receiver. I don't want to do the Seattle thing because I already did that with Geno. I guess I wouldn't mind Derek Carr or wow, that's gross. Like CJ Stroud or Derek Carr. The thing is with your quarterback, I feel like if they put up like 22 to 25, it's fine. Like you can win with a last round quarterback that puts up 20 to 25
Yeah.
if you get the skill players who put up 30.
Yeah.
So here I go Olave just because I think there's a chance these other ones come back, but I don't think Olave would have came back. Gotta be happy you have Kyron here because you would be in the Ramondre
Yeah.
tier.
I'm really curious to see who Crash takes.
For his running back?
Yeah.
I could see him doing like the Dante Foreman last round, just fuck it.
Yeah, I think him, Chuba.
Rashad White.
You could do like a 6th round questionable Jahmyr Gibbs and be like, hey, maybe he plays.
Even if he plays, like, what's his path to 20 plus points other than he gets like 2 really long touchdowns on broken plays? I guess
Yeah.
that's fine, but there goes DK.
Give me.
You got nice wide receiver options.
Yeah. Jacoby is very exciting to me. And then let's see. So Geno's still on the board. How many people still need quarterbacks? A decent. Let's
You,
see.
Lee,
1,
me,
2, 3.
Jared. 4 of us.
I'm gonna punt QB, I think. And I think I'm gonna go with Marquise Brown here.
I'm gonna pray I get Nico, and then I will probably take Stroud as my.
Yeah, I like this for me because I now have
Okay, there
3
goes
outs at
Nico.
quarterback with Josh Dobbs, Jimmy G, or Jared Goff.
Is he gonna take Lockett?
And so I can like kind of just punt
I
it
thought
and be
for
like,
sure.
are people really going to take all 3 of the potential quarterback? Like if there's 4 people who need a quarterback, are the other 3 people just going to take the 3 that I want? Probably not.
I'm sweating. Okay.
Lockett was who I was going to take potentially instead of Brown.
I wanted Nico. But whatever. Lockett gives me the Geno out, and I can take Derek Carr. Oh my god, I don't know if I take a naked Derek Carr, or I mean, I don't know if I take naked Carr. Derek Carr, I think I can maybe talk myself into another naked quarterback, like naked Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs runs a good. I mean, he didn't run last game, but the few games before that, he was getting some running
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Derek Carr hasn't had a good stat
He's
line.
not. Yeah, he's not doing too hot.
You don't want to go that
No.
far.
All right, so there goes Goff, which is great. He was the one I wanted the least, I think. I'm like, I don't
He
know.
took a naked Goff too,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been
and
my
he has
choice.
Komet and Hawkinson. That's a weird
That's a
build.
really weird team.
And he's also punting his running back further than Crash Rich.
Yeah.
Crash Rich went JT. That's
Okay.
Chad move.
Yeah, I don't really trust JT this week. I don't think I've drafted him at all.
I definitely don't trust him, but I think he's great in the dog bowl where you're just like trying to get a top free finish, and like,
Yeah,
what if JT does what Zach Moss has done the last few weeks? Like, I don't hate that. But rather than like Dante Foreman, right? Like, that's an alpha play. Like, picking JT is like, okay, like it's fucking Jonathan Taylor.
yeah.
Whereas like Dante Foreman, probably your Chuba, doesn't feel as good. Chuba feels gross, man. Like, I understand it, but the more I say it, like, fuck. Has Chuba ever broke 15 like half point PPR points in any game in his career?
Yeah, I think so.
Go check chat news. See if I can find it. Oh, this is just giving me everything. I haven't used stat news in a couple of weeks. 15.9. He was against Seattle. And then other than that, he hasn't broke 13's about the ceiling.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's rough. I have to take Geno again, which I guess I don't hate. I don't love it, but I mean,
There goes
Damian
Zach
Pierce is still
Moss.
up. There's still a couple running backs that aren't. Damian Pierce is getting the work. Like, it's trending up. It's just a matter of him actually finding the end zone.
yeah.
And then are you basically like Dobbs?
Dobbs
Or-
or Jimmy G, unless you take a naked Dobbs and Lee takes a naked Jimmy G.
No, I'm gonna take Geno.
Yeah. So
I think it'd be pretty stupid. for
whichever
me
of the
to-
two that Lee doesn't
And
take.
I think Lee wanted Geno because he
Yeah.
has DK, and he's gonna get stuck with a Carr Camara stack, or he's gonna get stuck with a naked quarterback.
Yeah, I think there's a chance he takes naked Dobbs, in which case I'm on Jimmy G. I think
Yeah.
of the remaining QBs, Dobbs naked is probably the best one.
Yes, I think he has like the highest rushing upside. He can get there, and then you also have Marquise Brown, so it's not naked.
Yeah.
You have the game stack of Kyron and Brown. We'll see what he does. This guy has Purdy. Hayden Hurst. Jesus Christ. That's a gross pick.
Yeah.
And Lee, what's he give us?
Hayden Hurst over Jonnu Smith is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst has been trending down. Like,
Come on, Lee. Give me Josh Dobbs. Why don't you take Taysom Hill? Get crazy. There we go.
Shroud.
All right. Josh Dobbs.
Well, he got correlation with Camara.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I don't hate it. I don't like that I have another Geno lineup, but I like the lineup. You got a nice correlated one. You didn't get any players who are just like you're absolutely praying for.
Yeah, whenever I can come out of one of these drafts and look at it and be like, is there a world where I would just take this team in a BR and like not feel absolutely disgusting? I'm pretty happy with it. And I feel that way about this team. Where like I think I probably want to have one Dobbs lineup in, out of my 150 BR lineups, like at
Mhm.
least to have some exposure to it. I think that game, it's one of the higher totals. I think it is the highest total, right?
Yeah, it's the highest total. That's what I was saying at the start of the show. Like, I
Yeah.
think this game is going relatively under steamed or underlooked compared to everything else on the slate.
Yeah.
Boom. It's done. That was a nice draft. You want to wrap it up? I know we,
Yeah,
we
let's do
lost Soby. That was good. I think this is gonna be a good week. I'm feeling good. I feel like if Rams Arizona does well, like I'm gonna do well this week. And
Yeah.
if that game doesn't do well, then
That's how I know I'm
rel-
gonna lose all my money. Is I feel good. I feel like whenever I feel good about it, I'm like, it's not good. It's not good.
what could go wrong?
Yeah.
But no, it's been fun. Next, I think the stream worked this time. I see it on the YouTube channel. I only linked it in Discord, so nobody joined. But next time when we lock in a time with Soby, we'll give people a few days notice and hopefully have a couple people in the chat. We'll bullshit with them when we do it. Because it's really easy to set up. I didn't realize how easy it was. To set
Yeah.
up, so.
Definitely.
All right, man.
All right.
Well,
Have a
we'll
good
talk
weekend.
soon and have a good weekend.
See ya.